Hey folks, hope everyone is doing well and that you are pretty comfortable now within the class, starting the new week. Um, Hopefully, everything is going well. So far, so good. So the objective of this video is to give you just an answer key, basically of few problems that you guys will practice on, and then compare it to my way of solving it, and then hopefully it'll be the same. So with chapter 2 in general, the problems are pretty straightforward, pretty simple, but the idea behind it is basically it's just for you guys to compare what you do with what I do. Which one is the best way? It doesn't really matter as long as it works. Is there ways to make it to make better code more simplified? Yes, and that's the idea behind it. The more you can simplify your code, the better it is. Having few comments. I see a lot of folks that just don't put any comments in their code, which is not a good habit. Definitely, you need to do that. Now, with what we're doing in class, is pretty straightforward. But hopefully, when you guys hit the field, by getting, writing, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 lines of code. It's not going to be easy not to remember. So we're going to go over the problem on chapter 2, number 5, which is average of values. So the problem tells you, let me start this first. Visual Studio, hopefully you guys were able to download it and then, make it all run and good to go. So you go to empty project, and then hopefully it'll open soon. Let's go ahead and read the problem by the time this opens. So to get the average of series of values, you add the values up, then divide by the sum by the number of values. So write a program that stores the following values in 5 different variables. They give you those things. Then the program should first calculate the sum of these 5 variables and then store the results in a separate variable named sum. Then the program should divide the sum variable by 5 and get the average, so display the average on your screen. So after you open, as I showed you before, open Visual Studio, then you go to source, add, then new item, and then you go to CPP. That's always what we'll be using for when we're using Visual Studio. Always use the CPP format. Then one more thing you'll have to do once this opens, go under project, right click, and then go under properties, then you go under linker system, and then change it right here to console. If you don't do that, when you run your code, it's not gonna stay on your screen. It's gonna pretty much disappear after you run it. So if you don't want to deal with this, then what you can do is, instead of doing empty project, you start one that already exists, and that will take care of that for you. And I'll show you in a little bit how to do that. So starting with that one, my apology, 1 second. Already, I'm back. Sorry for that pause. So starting with this one, always have the habit to put the chapter, which is 2, and that is programming number 5. So programming challenge 5, which is average of values. So starting with that, we need our first library, which is include IOStream. Then we need the using namespace std. Then we need our main function, so int main. So the first thing we need to do is have some values. So to do that, so we need to store the values, and those are all, I'll use double because I'm dealing with numbers in this case. So value 1, and that is equal to 28. Then the next one will be double value 2, which is equal to 32. Then we have double value 3, which is equal, I keep doing the same mistake, let's see, 28 32, 37. Then I have a double value 4, which is equal to 24. And then the last one that they gave us, which is a double value 5, equals to 33. So let's put this one back. Oops, oh, right here, missing a semicolon. Maybe that was the reason. So the first thing we need to do is calculate and store the sum. So I'll calculate, and store the sum. To do that, basic, simple. So double sum equals to value 1 plus value 2 plus 3 plus 4, and then finally plus 5, value 5. Okay, so as you can see right here, for this one right here, sum, I did the declaration here. I could have done it up right here, did double sum, and declared the value there, and then here I would have not have put double, I just put sum equal. So it's the same thing. You can do it either with your variables, all of them, or you can do it within the program. It doesn't really matter. Then what I need to do, the next thing is calculate and store the average. So calculate, and store the average. For that one, very simple. Once again, I'll declare a new variable, call it average, I guess, equals to sum divided by 5. And then finally, I need to display, all these results on my screen. So display the average on the screen. And cout, basically what I'm looking for is just the average. Okay, you can add a sentence and then do this, but it doesn't really matter at this point. It did not ask for it, so it doesn't really matter. Then run your program, Control F5. And if there's an error, then it will debug it and tell you if there's an error. If not, then it will pop up on your screen. So it's building my code, which is taking a second. And my antivirus is let's see, where is my execution? So right there, it tells you what it is, which is 30.8. Press any key to continue, and that's pretty much what it is. You could have just put a comment here, cout, semicolon, double quotes, the average is semicolon, then close it, then less signs, and then put the average, same thing. So that's what you guys will do when you do your homework. You'll do something similar to this. Take a print screen of this, using the key on your keyboard, and then paste that in a Word document, and then copy and paste the code itself. So I'll do this, open a Word document really quickly. I know it's a little bit off track, but I just want to remind you of that, so like that you don't make a mistake about it or something. So open a new document. Oops, don't need this. And here, paste. Now before pasting that, just make sure to remember to put, which is chapter 2, and that is number 5. So 5. And then below that, when you go below all the way to the bottom, go back to Visual Studio, and then copy and paste the code. And you can use one single document to do every single assignment that I assign you. One Word document will do the job. So that's what you'll do for every single assignment. That's it for this one. So let's go and let's do another one. Let's do number 10. Number 10 looks pretty interesting. So Um, let's see, number 10, it asks for miles per gallon. So in this case, what is it asking you to do is a car holds 15 gallons of gasoline and can travel 375 miles before refueling. Write a program that calculates the number of miles per gallon the car gets. Display the results on the screen. Hint, they give you a formula. The formula is what? The MPG mile per gallon is equal to mile driven divided by gallons of gas used. So very simple. We'll do the same thing. So let me be a little bit lazy. I'll use the same thing here. So I'm not going to delete everything. And that is number 10. And that one is miles per gallon. So miles, per gallon. So for this one, same thing. First thing I need to do once I go into my main function, so I need to do a declaration of constants. For that one, I'll use constant double. Gallons equals to, what did they give us? 15. Next one is constant double miles equals to 375. And then finally I have constant double for MPG, which is equal to miles divided by gallons. So I'll put the formula right there at the beginning. I don't have to worry about it anymore. And as you can see, I'm using constant double. The main reason is that the numbers don't change. So it's a variable that is assigned a specific number. So that's why you're using constant double in this case, and you don't have to worry about that anymore. So here what I need to do is display the results on the screen. Results. Oops. So to do that, cout. I'll put a comment. Let's say if a car, not car, sorry about that, holds, which is the amount of gallons, so my here gallons of gasoline, line, and then to go to the next line I can just do /n. That will force the compiler to take it to the next line. Cout and can travel that's the miles before refueling cout, then it will get about, and that's why you'll put your MPG, which is the results when it divides that for you, and then the comment will be MPG after the value is given. So /n, which will take the compiler and take it down and then return 0. Let's compile our code. Oops, we got an error. Let's see what it is. Missed a semicolon right there. So run this again. It'll take a second. So if a car can hold 15 gallons of gasoline and can travel 375 miles before refueling, then it will take about 25 miles per gallon. And that's pretty much it for the problem. I mean, you could have done more things. Some might ask, why am I doing multiple couts? You don't want to do a single line of code that is like 3 miles long, which then will go over and it'll be a mess to review. So try to keep as much as possible your code clean, which will help tremendously later when you try to debug it or reuse it, or etc. So imagine, for example, I'm not sure, but what Windows 8 or Windows 10, how many lines of code it was. I know Windows Vista was 49 million lines of code, written in multiple languages. So imagine how crazy would that be to go and debug, and that is basically why Microsoft did not debug much their code, and it was just a mess, and the OS was a big problem. So few lines of code is not a big deal. You'll be able to remember them. A lot of people say, oh, it's my code. I wrote that code, so it won't be a problem for me to remember. That is true. However, if it's a lot of line of code, you will definitely forget about it and will not remember after a span of basically a couple weeks. It will take about 2 weeks for you to start forgetting about the code that you wrote yourself. So the next example, let's do something fun. Let's do number 16, which is a diamond pattern. Write a program that displays the following pattern, which is a bunch of stars on top of each other. That'll be, let's see, I'm going to make a mess out of this one probably. So that's number 16, and it is diamond pattern. So same thing, I'm going to be lazy. I'm not going to use everything. I'm not going to delete everything. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so for this first one, we need just to make a basic display. So there's no calculation or anything like that needs to be done at this level. So display the diamond pattern. So let's see. See out. Let me try to figure this out. It's going to be a mess. Let's see. I'll start here. So for the first one, I'll modify those probably in a sec when I go through the different patterns that I have. So space for this one, I'll stop here. We'll see how it goes. /n, which will take me to the next line. And we'll do the same thing for this one. And that will be 2 stars. /n. Let me modify this. This looks ugly. Which will change my pattern, of course. Hopefully you guys will try that and you'll be better than me at this. mine doesn't look very good as a start. Let's see. So got this one. So now I need 3 stars. You know what? Let me be lazy and copy and paste this. I want you to start working smart, not hard. Oops. Let's put one more here. It looks like a diamond. It does not look very diamond-y. Let's see. We'll see what happens. Not cool. Then I need 5 stars. Let's see. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 for the next one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one more here, 5. And then the next one will be how many stars? Let's see. They gave us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 stars. So that is 5. I'll add 1 here and take this one a little bit here and then add 1 on the end of it. And I'll give me my 7 stars. And then the rest of it is 5, then 3. So I'll do 5, 3, 1. So let's do this guy. I might have to change this in a sec if it doesn't work properly. Let's see. Maybe not use the space and use the tab key. Hopefully that will help a little bit. We'll see. Maybe not, maybe yes. It looks pretty crooked to me. but we'll see. And then next one is the 3, and then the next one is the 2. My problem is probably with the 2 and the 1. They're not on the same level for some reason. So that's the 2, and then the 1 is the other issue that I have. Hopefully you guys will be luckier than me with this. I just don't have patience for it. Alright, that's 1. And let's run this and look at the ugliness that comes out of it. Oops, got an error. Let's see, what am I missing? Oh, I last semicolon right here. Right there, that's the problem. Uh-oh, that screwed up the whole thing for me. What happened? Come on, seriously. That's why I hate doing graphical design and stuff like that. Websites is just so annoying. Alright, let's compile this again and see the beauty that I did. The Van Gogh job that I just did. Yeah, the 1 is like not that good, and the 2 is also position is not that good. The rest of it looks wonderful. So it's kind of like a, Van Gogh. I'm not that far away from it, but you get the idea pretty much. So you need to play with it until they look good overall. Anyhow, that's pretty much it for this. So hopefully these will help. I'll have other examples, answer keys that I will give you that will be available in Blackboard under Unit 2. Please refer to them when you're doing your homework. So hopefully there'll be like a map for you to get the work done and how you need to get it done. Hopefully this helped. And then that you can learn something from it, and then it will help you complete your homework properly. I will talk to you in Unit 3. Thanks. Enjoy it. Bye-bye. Hello, folks. This is Unit 3. We're going to go over a few things. Hopefully you had a wonderful week, great weekend, had some fun, and ready to start tackling Unit 3, which is expressions and interactivity. Hopefully you learned a few good fun things out of that. So I'm going to go over a couple problems just to for fun. Hopefully they'll be fun for you, and they'll help you also when you're dealing with your homework. All right, let's go ahead and start this. Visual Studio. So new project. Oh, I forgot to, I'll show you now. If you don't want to do when you create the new file, you can go under Windows Console application and start there. Then you don't have to right click and then do under linker system and then change that. I forgot to mention that. I told you I will show you how to do that, and I forgot. So you can go under Windows Console application, click on that, and it will start with a library, which is iustream.something.h. So that will allow it to run without you going through that process. I always prefer to go with empty projects. I just like them. There's nothing in the background, no libraries are updated or anything like that, just to be on the safe side. As soon as this opens, we'll go through few of them. So go under source file, add new item, and then I'll select my CPP, and then I'll go as soon as it opens, and then once again go under right click on project, whatever project number you have, properties, linkers, system, and then under system you'll have console. So let's see, let's do some fun problems, starting, I don't know, with maybe the beginning of those program challenges. Let's do number 5. Number 5 sounds like kind of fun, simple, pain, fun at the same time. Kind of weird, I know. Male and female percentages. So they want you to write a program that asks the user for the number of males and the number of females registered in a class. The number should display the percentage of males and females in class. So they give you a hint, which is suppose there are 8 males and 12 females in a class. There are 20 students in the class. The percentage of males can be calculated as 8 divided by 20, which is equal to 0.04 or 40%. And the percentage of female can be 12 divided by 20, which is 60%. So let's start with that. Usual, start with the comment, which is, this one is chapter 3, programming challenge, 5, which is male and female percentages. So I'll start with a couple libraries that I'll need to do because I'm dealing with decimals and stuff like that. I need 2 libraries. I need the regular IOStream, and then I need IOManip because we're going to manipulate numbers. So you'll have, you're not going to have specific results. You might have decimals and etc. That's why you need a couple libraries in this case. So include my usual IOStream. You'll get used to these to a certain point. When we move on through the semester, you'll learn that there's multiple, like CTime and CMAT and all of those kind of stuff. You get to a point, you get used to them. As soon as you start a project or a problem to type code, you'll just write all of them and then forget about it. So it'll become a second nature. You'll become a robot pretty soon, and you go through that process. So I need let's see, include, and that is IOManip. So IOManip, manipulating code, and then the usual, using namespace std. Hopefully you guys are pretty comfortable at this point with syntax. I know you guys probably only had Python, and the syntax changes a little bit sometimes, so don't get confused and frustrated with that. It's a question of time. Once you guys learn a pure language like a C, a C++, something like this, the rest of it, all the other languages you'll be able to learn on your own. It's just you have to be a little bit careful about syntaxes here and there. They're a little bit different in how to get them done. So we'll start with our constants. So I'll have int, call it male, and I'll put a just quick comment, which is number of male students, and then I'll do one for female also, number of female students, and then I'll need one for like for the total when I do the calculation. So I'll use a double because it has numbers in it. Call it total, which is total number of students. So total number of students. Then I need one for both percentages. So I need a percent for the male and a percentages for female. So I'll go ahead and do double, call it percent male. And now I just want you to be careful a little bit about this. If you look at this one, percent is all lowercase, male has the M as uppercase. It's a good syntax way. You guys saw that in chapter 1 and 2, how you need to write variables and stuff like that, by using either underscore and stuff. You cannot start with a number and etc. So it's a good idea to have full words and combine more than one. The only thing that you need to do is just have the first letter of the second, third, etc. word starts with an uppercase letter, which is, it'll be easier to read. So I can look at it here, percentage OM uppercase, so that means it's a new word that starts there. So it's a way of doing it. I mean, you can do different way that really works for you, but it does help. And from my experience from the field, working as software developer, I've seen a lot of software developers that use that, and it does help tremendously, and it's less confusing to read and recognize once you write like a 1,500, 2,000 lines of code. So female. Let me push these. I'm trying to, as much as possible, to make my code look good. Not for anything specific, but it's just easier to follow on a long term. So it just looks better when I'm doing it for a client. it looks good for them, and when I'm doing it for myself also, there it allows me to read it, and I have a quick comment like 3-4 words and will explain what I'm doing. So next, what we need to do is get the numbers of male students and then get the number of female students. So get the number of male students. So what we can do, basic cout, just to put a comment for the user to enter like information. So enter, let's see, the number of male students, and then I have a cin, which will be basically my male, and then I'll do the same thing for female. So get the number of female students, and then cout, enter the number of, I need to take a typing class, I forgot how to type now, female students, and then cin, which will be just female in this case. Next, what I need to do is the calculation of both, male plus female. So calculate the total number of females, students, sorry, which is the combination of both the male and student. So total equals male plus student. Simple. Total is equal to male plus female. Very simple. And then the next thing I need to do now is the percentages. So I have to calculate the percentage. How I do that, I divide male by total and then female by total. So what I need to do is calculate the total number of students. So calculate the total male, calculate the percentage of male students. So calculate the percentage of male students. And in this case, it'll be percentage male. Equals male divided by total. And then do the same thing for female. So I'm gonna go ahead and be lazy in a smart way. Copy paste. And then that I'll change this to female. You guys can do this. Don't be lazy like me. And not make the proper changes. So please don't do that mistake. I've done it before, so be very careful about that. So female, which will give me my total of males in female in this case. So next, what I need to do is just display the percentages of male student and then display the percentages of female students on the screen. So when you pretty much run your code, so display the percentage of male students, and then here I'll use a cout, which is I'll do a slash n male. That will allow me to take, the compiler will push the line to the to the next line, so we'll skip a line, and then I'll do some settings. So I'll do set W to 7. That will give me spacing, and then don't forget your set precision in this case also. So set precision to 2. You can do it more if you want, you can do it less if you want, so it doesn't really matter. It's up to you as to how many. If there's no requirement, then you guys are free to pretty much utilize anything you want as how many you want to do after the set precision. So it'll be fixed, then show point, then percentage male times 100. Why? Because when I do the division, then I'll get I will not get a percentage. If you remember in the example, the hint that they gave you, so if you divide, like they divided it, whatever that number, 12 by 20 or something, it was 0.06. So that's the reason I need to multiply by 100, which will give me then a percentage. So I'll do the same thing for female. So once again, remember, if you do that, change it, female, and then female here, and set precision. Actually, I don't need that at this level. Just need percentages of female. I don't need all of this actually, because it will be taking care of it later. Let's see. And I need to change that to female. So female. So I have female, percentage female times 100. Oops, I forgot something. I forgot the symbol of percentage, the percentage symbol. So like that, it shows that percentage after that. And then I'll do an indel and L. Oops. And then return 0. Let's compile that. So enter the number of male students. Number of male students, I'll do 10. Number of female, 15. And then it tells you, oh, I forgot under male. Let me change that. Where's the male? Right here. Oh, I forgot the percentage. I think that should take care of it. Let's run it again. So, my apology, I'm using my wife's laptop. I need to turn off the antivirus she's using. So 10, 15, and it gives me my percentage. So male is 40%. Female 60%. Gives you pretty much, that's that's simple. So if you review the code, basically you using two libraries. In this case, IUStream, IUmanip. IUmanip is for the decimals that we're using. Declaration of some variables. Then you have to get the number from the user, which in this case will be the male, here the female. You add the total. You add the total, then to find the percentage, you take the number that you entered, that the user entered, and divide by the total. That's what I did for male and female. And then here, basically just displaying the male percentage. I'm multiplying by 100. If I don't do the 100, it will give me a decimal. And then do the same thing for female, and then return 0. That's pretty much it for that one. It's that simple. Let's see, what's another fun one that we can try to do. And also, I'm always trying to do stuff that will help you with your homework. So like that, when you're using it, it's not just for fun that you're doing it also for homework purposes. Let's look at number 19. Monthly payments. The monthly payment on a loan may be calculated by the following formula. So they give you a formula, which is payment is equal to blah, blah, blah. And then rate is the monthly interest rate, which is the annual interest rate divided by 12. 12% annual interest would be 1% monthly interest. N is the number of payments, and L is the amount of the loan. So write a program that asks for these values, then display a report similar to. So it will ask for a loan amount, it will ask for a monthly interest rate, number of payments, monthly payment, amount paid back, and interest paid. And then it will give you some type of display. So let's start that one. I need IUStream, IUmanip, so I'm not touching those. Those are still the same. Now we're going to use also a, chapter 3, sorry. We're going to use a new library in this case because we're using a formula, so we need the library of CMath. So we'll have to use also add CMath in this case, which is, this one we'll call, what's the name of it? 19. Monthly payments. So monthly payments. So I need to add one more, which is in this case include CMath. for the formula that I have. So this is used basically for the power function. Just give you an idea about it. All right, let's go through this. So delete this. So first thing I need to do is basically my declaration of my constants. As usual, you start with that, and I'll have constant int. Oops. In this case, it'll be, we'll call it months. I mean, we have 12 months, I think, I hope. And then I'll have 1 for percent. So constant int, not percent, it has to be a double. Yeah, constant double percent, because it's a number. So I cannot use integer in this case. So percent equals to, what was the percent of that? Let's see, 1%, so that's divided by 100, that'll give me 0.01%. I do a double for loan amount. Oops. And I'll do 1 for number of payments, so this one is an integer, so number of payment. And I'll do a double for annual rate. Let's put a quick comment for each one of those. So this one is to hold the amount of the loan. So the amount of the loan. This one is to hold the number of payments. So to hold the number of payments. Oops. And the last one is basically to hold the annual interest rate. So to hold the interest annual rate. Now, first thing we need to do, just get the value from the user. So get the loan amount from the user. And to that, you know, just put a statement which will allow the user to view it. Enter the loan amount. Then we have our CN, and it'll be just loan amount, simple, you know, pretty straightforward. Then we need to get the annual interest rate, so get the annual interest rate from the user. And that is also same thing, cout. Let's see, enter the loan amount. I forgot the amount here, sorry. Kind of a little bit hungry. I ate it. Enter the annual interest rate. And that one, CN, which is just annual rate. Next, what we need to get from the user is the number of payments. So get the number of payments made. And cout will ask the user to enter the number of payments made. So enter the number of payments made. And in this case, we have just basically our number of payments, simple. So CN number of payment. Next, what we need to do is calculate the adjusted interest rate for the loan. So that's the utilizing the formula that they gave us. So calculate the no, we need to do, let's see, what's the first thing we need to calculate in this case? Let's see, they asked for, please. So the first thing we need to do actually, I mean, we can do both, it doesn't really matter. Let's calculate the monthly interest rate first. So calculate the monthly interest rate. and we'll have double, we'll call it monthly rate. You see guys, I'm doing it on purpose not to declare everything at the beginning, so like that under constant, so like that you guys can see that you have a pretty flexible way of doing, you know, whatever you prefer to do. So you can either do it here or do it at the beginning, which it doesn't really matter, you know, where you do the declaration. So it'll be annual rate divided by months times percent. Okay, that's the monthly interest rate. Next, now we need to calculate the adjusted interest rate for the loan. So calculate the adjustment interest rate for the loan. And for that one, we'll do also a double. We'll call it, I guess, adjusted rate equals. Now we use our formula that they give us. So power, parenthesis 1 plus monthly rate and number of payments. And that is why we needed the CMAT, is to use the power here, which allows us to apply the formulas of, you know, mathematical formulas, which will run, your compiler will not give you an error if you run that. So now we need to calculate the monthly payment amount. So monthly payment amount. For that, we'll do a double, call it, let's see, monthly payment equals what? Let's see, I'll have to have monthly rate, nope, not monthly payment, monthly rate times adjusted rate divided by adjusted rate minus 1, adjusted rate minus 1 times loan amount. So loan amount. Now we need to calculate the total amount paid. So the next thing we need to figure out is to calculate the total amount paid. To do that, basically is what is amount paid. So we'll do a declaration for a new one called amount paid equals to monthly payment, oops, times number of payments. So times number of payments. Next, what we need to find out is the interest paid. So calculate the interest paid. So we'll have double, we'll call it interest paid equals to amount paid minus the loan amount. And then finally, what we need to do is just a display of all this beauty that we just created. So display results. Once again, if you look at my comments, they're not crazy 2-3 paragraph comments, just couple 3 words, a phrase that will do the job. So see out, we have, I'll start with, you know, the formatting, fixed, show point. Once again, I just want you to see that you can do these at any level. Set precision to 2. And now I start with my comments and, you know, loan and the whole 9 yards. So loan amount. Let's write everything and then I'll adjust the formatting, and then we'll have to set W to 8, so it will move the information 8 spots, and that is the loan amount. Then I need to show my, what is the next one they want us to show? Monthly, oh, okay, monthly, oops, monthly interest rate. and monthly interest rate, and then we'll do the same thing, set W to 8, so like that they're all on the same level, you know, just above each other and or below each other, whatever works for you. Annual rate divided by month. Then I need to show, let's see, I'm missing, let's show percentage sign, so like that it shows that it is a percentage. Okay, next what we need to show is the number of payments, so and monthly number of alright, let's get rid of that's number of payments, it's good. So number of payments, I try to adjust that. Set W to 8 also, and that is the number of payments. So number of payments. Next one we need to display is the number of payments, monthly payments. So they want us to have monthly payments. So how much they pay every month. So monthly payment. Put my dollar sign for this one. And same thing, set W to 8. And that is your monthly payment. Next, amount paid back. So amount paid back. So that's a dollar amount. We'll put a dollar sign. And that'll be set W to 8 also. And that is amount paid that we have. Finally, the last thing we need to do is interest paid. Interest paid. And that is also a dollar amount, so we need a dollar sign. And set W to 8, and that is interest paid. And then return 0. Now let's see if I made any mistakes. Keep forgetting to cancel this. So we'll enter the loan amount. Let's see, $10,000. Enter annual interest rate, 0.2. Enter the number of payments, 10. Oops, what happened? Why did he scramble everything like this? I screwed up somewhere. Let's see. Oh, wait, what happened? I need to do I'm putting /n in front of each one, which, oh, I forget the my bad, here and here. So this will allow it to go to the next line. Monthly also, I forget that. It allows it to go to the next line. See, simple mistakes makes your code looks really, really ugly. Alright, let's run that again. I'm sorry, the output, not, just the code, the output itself. Alright, let's run that again. So enter the loan amount. Let's do 10,000. Interest rate 0.2. Payments 15, and it gives you your total. Let's try that again. 10,000 to 20, and it gives you a percentage. What is your loan amount? 10,000. Monthly interest rate, and then the amount paid back, and then interest paid, etc., etc. So hope this helps. Hopefully, I love math, so hopefully this will not be a headache for you guys. But that's pretty much it for this one, and hopefully I'll catch you again in the next one. See you guys. Do well, have fun, and please feel free to get hold of me anytime if you have anything that is not clicking or you have any question. Please email me. I will get back to you ASAP. Thank you guys. Have a great week, and enjoy the material. Bye bye. Hello class, and welcome to Introduction to C++, COMS 171 WW01. That's for winter semester 2018. My name is Joel. I'll be your instructor for this semester, and this video is hopefully an orientation that will give you an idea as to how to navigate through Blackboard, where to start, what are the stuff that you need to complete to hopefully will have a very successful semester. If you're watching the video, that means it's a pretty good, darn good start. That means you got to the right position. As you jump into Blackboard, every time you'll have an announcement. That is really the main way for me to get hold of you guys, to communicate with you. So please check Blackboard very often during the week. And from there, if there's an emergency, I usually communicate with you through your email. So those are the two main ways for me to get hold of you guys. So to jump here, we'll go to syllabus really quickly. And to start with syllabus, you'll see my name is at the top. So my email is available also here. So if you can't remember, how to spell my last name, then it's right there available, joel.hashim@mcc.edu. My office, which is 2320 in the RTC building, second floor. My office hours are available also in the syllabus. So if there's any problem or you're unable to show up, if you need to show up, we can also communicate via phone. So just give me your number and a few good times for me to call you, and I will do so. And then you have few numbers here like the technology division, distance learning, etc., etc., if you need any help through this. Now, if you send me an email, please remember, please remember to put COMS 171 WW01 in the subject title of your email. I do receive a lot of junk mail, a lot of advertisement, a lot of mail from the school, and if I don't see that it is an emergency from a student, I usually ignore it or delete them. I do check my email 7 days a week, so if you don't get an answer from me within 24 hours, I'll say 30 hours maximum, please send it again until you get a reply from me. Now, to continue, as you can see, course description, Introduction to C++, textbook, definitely a must. If you don't have it, jump on it, get it ASAP, as everything that you need to complete successfully this course, your assessment, the quizzes, everything that you need is from the textbook. Course objectives, I'll leave those for you. Class expectations, same thing. Attendance, I will discuss attendance in a second when I'll show you the learning units, but it's basically by completing the weekly work assigned to you. That's how you are marked present for the week. Assessments, you'll have different assessments, for every single week. You'll have stuff that you need to complete, so code that you have to create, compile, and then turn in. You'll have 2 exams, a midterm and a final. You'll have quizzes every single week. You'll have 1, and then you'll have a project at the end of the semester that you need to complete. Grades, the usual, you guys are used to this. Now, grading, as you can see, we have quizzes, programming, values, etc. Hopefully we'll end up with this number. However, if we don't, for any reason, whatever it is, pretty much you'll be graded on whatever is in Blackboard. So please keep checking your grade under my grades. As you can see right here, it will take you right away to my grades, and you'll be able to see what was the assignment point value, how much you've earned, and what is the total. So you'll be pretty much examined. I can tell you for sure the quizzes are for sure 100 points. Midterm, final, project are 300 points for sure. What will differ a little bit is, your assessments, pretty much. The assignment that you'll do on a weekly basis, I might give you more, I might give you less. It all depends on, what I'm seeing from the class. Is everybody running, pretty smoothly? Any issues with the class? Do I need to give you more practice? Do I need to give you more assessments, and etc.? Now, if you look at course assessment due dates, this is something very critical that I would really, really, really strongly recommend that you put those somewhere in your smartphone, tablet, whatever, something that allows you to remember when the semester starts. It starts on the 13th at midnight, which is a Saturday, and then from there everything is due before the next Saturday. So first Saturday is the 13th, which is our first day of the semester. So Unit 1, and I'll show you in a minute, Unit 1, everything within Unit 1 must be completed before the 19th, before 11:59 p.m. So the second week, the second unit will open on the 20th, but actually I will open more than one unit at a time, just to give you, some folks can work ahead of time and then be, ahead of the game. So from there, you'll be able to see what needs to be done up to week 14 and 15. Week 14, I will assign you a project, and I'll give you a couple weeks to work on, and also I will give you a study practice for your final exam, which I'll do also for the midterm. So midterm practice will be available starting week 6, and the midterm will be due on March the 2nd before 11:59 p.m. So you'll have almost 2 weeks to study and get ready for the midterm and final exam, and then you'll have probably, I do not expect you'll need 2 weeks to complete the project. It's a small project, nothing very major. It's just so you can try to combine everything we've learned during the semester and put together. Late work policy, I don't accept late work, except if you have a really darn good reason, a medical or something like that, and I can have some documentation to provide to my superiors, then please get hold of me, and then we'll be able to find a solution. But please don't disappear until the end of the semester, not communicate with me at all, and then show up week 13 or 14, tell me, oh, I missed the work, I was sick, and I was this. That's really too late. So hopefully no emergencies will happen to you or your family. Hopefully everything will run smoothly, but if something happened, please get hold of me as soon as you can. I'm not telling you to do it like within 24 hours, but as soon as you can, within the next 2-3 days, so we can work something together. I'll be more than happy to work something with you. My goal is for you to have a smooth, fantastic, fun, exciting semester where you'll be able to learn about C++ and then move on to your next class. Incomplete, not provided withdrawals, please contact the registrar office for that. Hopefully you will not need it. And it's grade, it's basically not completing the grade, which is, it's a failing grade. Cheating, hopefully that will not be an issue. Title 9, if you have any eligibilities for disability and stuff like that, please get hold of the disability services, and they'll be able to provide you with the proper accommodation. Also, there is a care team. If you have issues, you need to discuss something, please contact them. They'll be more than happy to help you and provide you help and send you throughout the right way. Honor code, I'll leave that to you. Please review it. Hopefully everybody will be just fine within this process. Disclaimer, if there is any change to the syllabus for any reason, I will update the syllabus, I will post it in Blackboard, I will post an announcement, and I will email you to update you on it. I do not foresee it, but we never know, stuff might happen. So if we jump into the learning units, I opened the first 2 units for you at this point to go through. So if we jump into Unit 1, and every unit will look pretty much the same. You'll have an overview, objectives, activities, recommendation that I tell you what to do, or assessment that I'll tell you what you need to get done. So for this first one, activities is to read chapter 1, complete the quiz, complete the review questions at the end of your chapter, review those review questions, which I did. I will show you in a second, that they're in there. Download Visual Studio 2017 from Microsoft Imagine. At the start of the semester, I'm hoping by Monday you guys should have them. So by Monday, we start on Saturday. So hopefully by Monday you should receive an email from Microsoft, and it will look like this. Microsoft Imagine, that will send you your username and a temporary password. So if I'm going to go ahead and log into it. Hopefully I can remember my password. Nope. Yes. So once you log into it, you'll be able to go under, it will show you that it is from Mott Community College, and what you'll need is Visual Studio Enterprise 2017, and it's very simple. You just click on it, add it to cart, and then download it and move on from there. It's like you install anything, like you're installing Microsoft Office, or very, very simple. It will show you, give you an option, which is you choose it based on your computer that you have, if you have a 32-bit or 64-bit processor, and then simple installation, very, very simple. So I'm hoping by Monday you guys should get an email from Microsoft. So please keep checking your email. It's called Microsoft Imagine, and you'll be able to download Visual Studio 2017, which that's what we'll be using. And if I click on it, it will show you what it is. Once you start, it's very simple to start the project. So every time you start, a new page, you go under File, and then through File, New, Project. There's two options that you guys can do when you start a new project. It will take a second. Loading. You can start a project, an empty project, and there is one more step that you'll need to do once you do an empty project, or you can do Windows Console application, which will kind of start a library, and then there's nothing else that you need to complete. So I usually go with empty project, give it a name, whatever name that you want to call it. Let's say it's chapter X, assignment 5, or something like that. You can call it that way. Then from there, it will open sooner or later. Pretty slow. Then from there, you'll be able to start a new item, which the item will allow you to start coding and then running, doing your process and etc. And you'll see in Unit 2, I have videos, demos for, exercises that I take, some of the programming challenges from your textbook that I, go over with you, and it shows you how you need to complete the assessments. Let's go back and continue. Okay, I guess it just opened. Right there. So you go under Source, Files. I did also, like I said, the examples in Unit 2, I did show you how to do that. So you go to Add, New Item, and then you will use the CPP files. And then you'll need to do one more step. You need to go under whatever project number that you have, right-click on it, go under Properties, then Linker, click on System, and then right here you need to change that option from nothing to console. You need to select console. Why is that? Because if you compile your work without having this selected, the output will pop up and then disappear. So it will not allow you to compile properly. And it's kind of like crazy. They just changed it with the new version that we have. So this is something that you guys will need to download week 1, your assessment. And you'll see in a second, I don't have much for you to complete within week 1. There is no assignments. It's basically just a quiz, one single quiz that you need to complete. And then you can see here the quiz. Please do not start the quiz until you're ready for it. So read the chapter, go over the PowerPoint slides, and then do the review questions. I gave you the answer key. Do not go through the answer key. I strongly don't recommend. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I strongly not recommend for you not to go through them until you are ready. And you've done them yourself. So when you got them done yourself, then you can compare the answer key. So I'm going to quickly get out of it so you don't see it, but they're there for you. And there's a quiz that you can complete right here. So basically week 1, there's only one single thing that you need to complete, which is a quiz. So you have 1 week to read the chapter, do the installation of Microsoft Visual Studio 2017, and then just the review questions. It's that simple for week 1. Now, if you go to week 2, which is Unit 2, Introduction to C++, it gives you once again an overview, objectives, some of the objectives, activities. So read chapter 2, do the quiz, complete the programming challenges, practices 5, 6, 10, 13, 16, and 20. So those are not graded. Those are practices. I recommend that you go through them. Watch the video. I did complete 5, 10, and 16 for you. So if I click on the video, it goes through, the video showing you what you need to complete. I'm gonna silence that so you'll be able to see it. So right there, I'm going through the process. Let's go ahead and do start. So if I do this, oops. If I do this, you'll be able to see that. So it shows you how to start Visual Studio, going through the process, where to start, what to do, and etc. So right there, exactly what I've went through earlier. So that's an example that I pretty much I will do with every single unit. Hopefully those will help you by completing your assessments. Now the rest of the ones that I assigned you for practice, I do not go over them, but I did give you the answer key for them. So the answer key for them is available for you to review. So get the practices done. Check the review, the answer key for them, which you can copy and paste in a new document, and then in Visual Studio 17, and you'll be able to see did I do it right, how did I do mine compared to yours, and etc. etc. So right there, they're available for you. And then right here you have a quiz that you need to complete, and then the review questions, answer key, and then you have your assessments. So those are the assessments that you need to complete. Those will be graded 9, 11, 15, and 18 from chapter 2. What you do is every time you write your code in Visual Studio, you compile it. Once you compile it, you take your output screen with the code, take a print screen, paste it in a Word document, then copy and paste the code, because you're not providing me with the CPP file. So copy and paste that code below the print screen, and then upload it in Blackboard, and just by clicking here. So in a single Word document, click Browse My Computer, and then through Browse you can just go ahead and upload whatever you're trying to upload. That's pretty much what it is, and you send it. So that is for week 2 that you'll need to complete, and it'll be pretty much similar for every single week. So that's basically for this. As a start, I want you to go under discussion questions and then introduce yourself. A few questions that I have for you guys to answer. So you can just copy paste those questions: your name, what's your degree, what class, why are you taking this class, etc. I did introduce myself. If you guys want to go ahead and check that out. If you don't, it's fine also. And then there's current events. This area shared events in information security, in computer IT, in etc. etc. So anything related to technology, that's what I'll post here. And if anyone wants to post stuff in there related to programming, security, networking, whatever, I did put information security, but it's in general for everything related to IT. And here there is also one peer help forum discussion board. I want you to guys, if you have problems with to solve a problem, please post here, and then your classmates will try to reply to you, and hopefully they will. I will keep monitoring this, but I want you to post any question you might have here first before you send it to me. So it's like a discussion that you guys are doing, when we have a face-to-face. Hopefully this helps. If you have any question, please try to get hold of me ASAP. But as you've seen, week 1 is pretty straightforward, very simple. There's not much that needs to be completed, as what I'm focusing on is for you to go ahead and get ready, install Visual Studio 17, and then get ready to go ahead and complete the work overall. That's pretty much it for this. I would hope and wish you the best of this in this semester. Please get hold of me for any reason as soon as possible, and welcome to CMS 171 once again, and then have fun.